Hello, you're listening to a We Will Fix It podcast short with Colin Thomas and myself, James Piecowye.
Electricity.
This is a big one.
Yeah, it is. So again, we must stress that when it comes to electrics, under no circumstances, unless you are fully confident and competent, very important difference there.
Confident and competent.
Yes.
The two C's.
Yeah. Then don't start touching your electrics.
I'm fairly confident, not so sure I'm competent. Electricity terrifies me just because I've gotten a little bit of a jolt in my life, accidentally. And I don't want to get that jolt again.
I must admit, I had one nightmare job in the really early days where early on in the job, we were talking within the first 6 months, where we were still very much in that learning period, where I had an electrician who the last straw happened with. And so I had to get him off site there and then. And I was left with some exterior lighting that still had to be finished that day for the photography studio that we were working at. And the only option was me, and I was confident and not competent. And I knocked myself across the room 3 times in an hour.
Yeah.
And the level of stupidity to actually do that was something that I really learned from.
Yeah.
And you learn from your mistakes, don't you? So I'd never do that
3
again.
times, though.
Well, it gives you an idea, A, of youth, stupidity, and determination, because this guy wasn't paying until I got these lights going.
Yeah.
We'd renovated his whole place, actually. So knocked myself across the room 3 times, kept going back to it because I had to get it done. And since then, I haven't touched any more electrics.
See, electricity scares me. So even the simplest things, I'll call in someone.
Well, interestingly enough, I do enjoy it. So I will lay out now. I mean, I laid out the electrics for the old garden, but in terms of termination, there's no way. My boys will do that for me, and we'll go from there. And I fully understand the theory all behind the electrics, but I'm not an electrician, and that's the truth of the matter. So in terms of flow and how we'd use it for electrical elements, you would then work out, okay, so I know I've got a light bulb that's not working. So is it at the switch? Is it at the fuse? So let's start off at the distribution board, which is where it starts. Has the circuit tripped? If the circuit is tripped, these days with breakers, they have a very good safety system on there.
Yeah.
So you can try and put it back and see if it immediately flips back down again. If it does, there's a short on the circuit, call a professional. And you can tell them there is a situation where my breaker has tripped and it will not reset.
Yeah.
Knowledge is there. We love that job because it means that we can test against it.
Yeah.
So therefore, we can try and do a first fix. We then try and flip that breaker again. If the breaker stays on, the light stays on, we know we're good. If it trips back off again, we know it wasn't that particular thing that didn't look too great, because sometimes electrics here don't look too great when you look at them closely.
Yeah.
And it can be more than one thing that's actually the critical factor that we're there, and away we go again. And again, my boys will be working down that flow from the distribution board to that light, in between the switch to see whether we've got an issue there, or if there's a wiring problem that's just on the main run, which is much more rare.
I'm always taken aback by switches over time. They can just go. Which, for whatever reason, in my mind, you got to switch, it should go forever. But they don't. They don't.
Well, yes and no. So first of all, you start off with the quality of the switch.
Yeah.
Now, interestingly enough, quality doesn't come from price necessarily. Quality comes from brand and good manufacturer. So here, generally speaking, I would work with only 3 or 4 brands. So we have Schneider, who is one of their other brands is Clipsal. We've got ABB, which are a great outfit as well. We have got MK, which is another great outfit, and I'll also work with BK as well, which is a British outfit, one of the newer which is one of the newer ones. There aren't and PDL. I'll work with them as well, but the problem that we have with the general public, obviously, this is where I'm going. The problem that we have with the general public is they don't know or really care about a quality issue. It's all about the visual.
Yeah.
And in that situation, I was in Dragon Mart. Aren't these really great looking sockets? Yeah, they do. They look great. I'm never fitting them. I will not fit these for you, because we have the ability with electrics to burn down somebody's property with all the family inside it.
Yeah.
And yes, has it ever happened? Well, actually, in Dubai it has. And I remember going along, this is now 3 or 4 years ago, going along Beach Road and seeing 2 burnouts in the space of a kilometre that were reported in those days, actually, so it's longer than that, in 7 days as being electrical fires. So 2 within a kilometre that was, and I'm sure these days now we don't have 7 days anymore. There's a lot more that go unreported. But that's the actual reality in terms of if you have a maintenance company there, if they don't do the right thing rather than what you ask them to do, then there is every chance that they can burn down your home. So that concept of flow and working out what's going on is really important.